Hello, my name is Eva Margueriette, and I am an artist living in Rancho Palos Verdes now with my new husband. We just got married last year. We built a beautiful studio for us to work in. You like my gray walls? The Cezanne looks good too. I'm going to do a demonstration today of painting three apples actually, but it began because I love Cezanne. He's been my mentor for most of my life, and he says that he wants to astound the world with the painting of an apple. So we're going to paint apples today. You get to watch. But first of all, I want you to see my painting. It's a copy I made of a Cezanne that I love. I love the drapery, the shapes and the shapes and the shadows, the way it's several different views at once. I've been painting apples for 50 years. So we're going to do it today. And this is one of Cezanne's apple paintings. See the apples right there? Yeah, right. Yeah, kind of a reflection on him. Yes, I also want to talk a little bit about Cezanne because he was the father of modern art. And the reason is because in his study of painting from life, he saw all kinds of things in nature. He saw things, he said he wanted to see the world in terms of create nature in terms of cylinders um, and spheres. And so the Cubists came after him because Cezanne was at the end of the Impressionist period where Monet and those people only were interested in light and color. But Cezanne was sort of on his own. He was sort of a hermit, and he would go down to Provence, where he came from, and paint day and night. But he just was seeing everything a little differently. Well, the Picasso and Braque, they picked up on this. They kept saying he's seeing something that we don't know, haven't seen before, and so they focused on his seeing shapes and color and form, and they came up with Cubism. So that's how Cezanne became the father of modern art. And I love him for all those reasons. Some of the paintings are not all that beautiful looking, but there's something going on that's interesting. So we're going to start now. I'm going to go over to my table and show you the apples that we have set up. Just like Cezanne. He always had a cloth and he had a table, and he was very interested in the shapes of the shadows and in the fruit and also the cast shadows on the table. And I also want to tell you about how watercolor to me is such a gift. And I have spent all these years, ever since I started watercolor in 1985, I was especially fascinated with the idea of mixing on the paper, not on the palette. And you'll see, because my palette doesn't have any muddy gray puddles. So come and see. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my demo. I am Cezanne, reincarnated, painting apples to astound the world. Please look at the still life that we have set up. We're painting from life. Apples from Costco delivered. I've already done my thumbnail sketch with my viewfinder. That's this. The thumbnail sketch should take about 1 minute. And then now we're going to do a value study. And values, we're going to look for the light, medium, and dark values in each subject and the background. I'm going to start off by putting in the shadow shape of the apple on the left, and then fading the highlights, just like we do in watercolor. So this would be the medium value. This side of the apple is a medium value. There is a little light here, something a little darker there. very dark here. And then this is the shadow side, which is darker than the other two. So very simply put, this apple has light, medium, and dark. And the shadow is a continuation of the medium value. And then there's a little accent here, which is darker. Okay, see how quickly that went? Really nice, huh? This is the shadow of this one. Something like that. I go around to the middle one. The three big masses. They say we should always start painting the big masses first. But right now we're painting in black and white. This is going to help us a lot choosing the value of our color. This is medium value here. I'm saving a white highlight. Medium value, light value, dark value. And then the little accent there. Okay. And then there's a shadow on that continues. It's like the shadow's connected to the shape. And then there's a little accent in here, and that's it. This value study shouldn't take much longer than 5 to 10 minutes at the most. Okay, so if you get a good look at this value study, light, medium, dark value, and then we'll start our painting. Oh, I'll show them. I want you to see the drawing that I made from the setup. I've indicated where the highlights are and where the shadows are. And I want you to see the palette before we start. And notice that they're just pure color. There are no browns or grays or black. Because I believe in the prismatic color theory, which means that we are painting with light as close as can possibly be done. We're painting with the pure colors that you find in the rainbow, like a yellow, vermilion, magenta, blues, and blue-greens. So I'm going to start off thinking about the value, of course, but also the local color. The local color in this case is Scarlet Lake. I've chosen Scarlet Lake because it's very transparent. Most reds are opaque, but Scarlet Lake is very transparent. So let's start right off with the local color of the whole apple. I'm trying to remember to paint with the side of the brush, not touching the paper any more than I have to. It's amazing how quickly you can cover something when you just remember to use the side of the brush. All right, so then I'm going to go up here. I have to paint around the highlight. Like that. Okay. Then I'm going to dip into alizarin crimson, which is a dark red, and I'm going to put in the shape of the shadow over the red. So this pretty much establishes those values that we saw in the black and white study, the value study. One way to soften this edge is by using a stroke of pure color. Watch what happens. I want to put more red on anyway, but that will help to soften that edge very quickly. up here, I'm going to soften the edge with just a brush that has had the water taken out of it. Then I'm going to use a blue. That last one was alizarin crimson. Now I'm using cobalt blue. And I'm going to make a purple shadow with cobalt blue and opera pink. Or the blue violet. There we go. And I'm going to paint the shadow here because I want some of the color of the apple to blend into the color of the shadow. So here is my alizarin crimson, and I'm going to let just a little bit of it blend into the purple shadow. That's just perfect. See what's happening? It's blending it all by itself. It's mixing on the paper. I'm going to pick out a little bit of green in here. It's not really green, I know, but it's good for a start. A little bit of yellow. So far, I've only used pure color. This is pure yellow, Yukon Beige. And I'm going to put a little bit of yellow in the green. There we go. Still too much. Purple in there. I'm neutralizing that with a little bit of purple. There we go. And then while it's still wet, I'm going to put in a little accent color there. And then a little accent in here. The dark on the apple needs to be a little less red. So I'm going to just add a glaze of a little bit of blue. Let's see how can I put this? This is nothing on the brush but blue. Watch what happens when I lay it over the red. It darkens it without killing it because it's just pure color. Let me go back again and soften it with the color. There we go. Not bad. I can keep softening this a little bit and brightening it also at the same time. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's pretty close to the first apple that I want to do for you. Okay, let's start with the next one. Same process. Local color of the red, shading the highlight. Sorry, it was go fast. Be sure that you load up the brush with lots of paint. We have a lot of water, but you need lots of paint. Alizarin crimson shadow. You see now why it was important to do the drawing and indicating the shadow shapes and then reinforcing that with the value study. Because now I'm confident about where the shadows are. Okay, there we go. Definite line there. Okay. Notice I clean the brush out every time. We're only mixing pure colors on the paper. But I'm going to take this yellow and kind of use it to blend in. I'm literally mixing on the paper. See? Whoops. This is what we worry about. It's called a bloom. This is a bloom. Well, I can fix it really fast by and then now I won't have so much water. Okay, I can lift it off. I don't have too much water. It's not like you never make a mistake. It's that you consider it a happy accident. So for a minute there, I had too much water. It was getting away from me. This is yellow. So we're back to just 3 colors, red, yellow, and alizarin crimson. Put the shadow in there. Then I have the shadow color already ready. I put it under the... You want to try to paint the shadow and the fruit at the same time because you want this color to blend in. So, hold on. So here's some of the purple in the shadow. I'm going to put it up into the apple, and then let some of the red bleed into the purple, and leave it alone. Put a little more blue out here. It's really fun if you just put the color on and leave it alone. See what happens. I'll come back to that for that, but now let's keep moving on with our same process again. The local color, which means basically it's a red apple. Saving the highlight. Keep reloading up the brush. Be sure the brush is loaded. Lots of paint, as much as you can get. And there's a beautiful little highlight down here I like to keep. It's not a highlight, it's reflected light down in here. Oh, I forgot about that. That reminds me. There's a reflected light here that I'd like to be able to save right here. There we go, it's not too late. I removed it just in time. There. That's good. Okay, back over here. To save some light there. Oops. They say paint as if it doesn't matter how it comes out. You're just kind of experimenting. Except I keep going back to get the values. So this is, right in here is really dark. This is called a cast shadow. And it has a nice crisp edge. But it's also darker. Well, this is actually darker than that, so. You want to fight for your contrast, your dark, medium, and light value. Thinking about that all the time. I'm going to put a little blue over here again, like we did before, a little bit of blue, because this is darker still than I have it. A little too far. Just lift it off. Okay. Put the shadow in. Right here. They're called accents. At the end, you put in dark accents and bright accents. Before we do anything else, we should do a little bit of color in the background. So, I know this is much too bright, but I want to show you how to neutralize a color. Not by mixing a muddy gray on your palette, but by mixing on the paper. So we'll go a little bit further. Okay, so this is a brush that you can use a point or you can use a side. Okay, so let's try, the background is very neutral, but watch what happens if we take just a little bit of pink. Let's see how pink that is. But watch what happens when we put this across there. It makes it almost violet. It makes it a lovely neutral green kind of color. Pretty, huh? Now that's called mixing on the paper, not on the palette. But it was pure green and pure pink. One of my favorite things. Let's do it this way. Let's do pure pink. Okay, pure pink. Watch what happens. We're going to mix three things on. We're going to mix blue, a blue violet. That's just, I'm going to show you, I forgot to show you how that works. Here's the blue. That's the blue, right? I put blue over the pink and I get violet. Pretty. Now watch what happens if I put, now the backgrounds where you really can have fun playing around. You don't really care what color it is as long as it's dark and neutral. So let's see here. All right. Now watch what happens when I put the green over that. And these are all very bright colors. They're pure, 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 pure color. But watch it. This is pure green, see? Put the green over this and see what happens. This will be more the color that we're looking at. Or it'll be the most gorgeous gray you've ever seen. Too much water. Pure green, right? Watch. Okay, let's leave it alone. Let it do its own thing. So, or maybe over here, it would be nice to echo a little bit of the red. This is the red, just echo it in a little bit. So, certainly feels like a kindergartner play, doesn't it? Love to do that kind of thing. Leave it alone. Leave the background alone. We're almost done. I think we should take that green, since we have it here, and put it in the plate. The plate is kind of green. And then let some of the green go into the shadow. We're back to our shadow color, a blue, beautiful blue violet, right? And we'll put the blue violet and let the green, remember I said I want the color of the object to bleed into the shadow. Right here. Just let it bleed into the I think that's about it. There's a few more accents. Hold on. Right into here. This is very dark. This is okay, what do you think? Am I done? I think so.